Good afternoon and welcome to the August 19th regular school board meeting. I'm calling this meeting to order, and I want to call to attention Member Loeffler Kemp will be attending remotely, and you can see her on all the screens within the boardroom. So Clerk Mike Zell. Let's do roll call. Member Banks.
Here.
Chair Derek Eater.
Here.
Member Loeffler Kemp.
She must not hear us.
Member Loeffler Kemp, are you here?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
She cannot hear anything. We will go ahead and continue roll call while you guys troubleshoot. Member Lofald.
Here.
Can you hear me now?
Member Mike Zell is me, and I am here. Member Sadowski.
Here.
Member Williams.
Here.
Superintendent Magus.
Here.
Assistant Superintendent Bonds.
Present.
Deputy Clerk Zunich.
Present.
Executive Director of HR and Operations Severance.
Present.
Board Secretary Paquette is excused. Executive Assistant Brown. And our student representatives are excused. We're going to take just a brief pause here for a minute. Member Loeffler Kemp, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great, thank you. We will now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Now I'm looking for an approval for the agenda. Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve the agenda?
Member Lofald has moved for an approval of the agenda. Do we have a second? Second. Member Mike Zell has seconded. Now do we have any discussion? We will now do a roll call vote for the approval of the agenda. Member Banks?
Yes.
Member Derek Eater? Yes. Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lofald?
Yes.
Member Mike Zell says yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes. Can I add, just for public knowledge, that we have to do a roll call vote since Member Loeffler Kemp is online?
Thank you. The vote is 7-0 to approve our agenda. The agenda have been approved. Next, we'll move on to school and community recognition. Assistant Superintendent Banks. Assistant Superintendent Bonds, because I just looked at it.
It happens. Thank you.
No,
Thank
it
you.
doesn't. I'm
Excuse
terrible.
me, sir. May I come up?
Give you shock collar to shock me every time.
Members of the board, good evening. It is with pleasure that I have the distinct honor to recognize a truly outstanding community partner, Pez Davila, and NYS, which is the Neighborhood Youth Services Organization. Each year, Pez, come on up. I know you're here. Each year, they demonstrate an incredible commitment to our community through their support of our Unity in our community event. The work that they do is a testament to the power of partnership. They provide free backpacks filled with school supplies, free haircuts and hair braiding, and delicious food and drinks for the event. This is a huge help to our event and makes them a really, truly great partner. It shows what building a respectful partnership with organizations truly look like. Pez and the entire NYS staff and team, we want to thank you for your unwavering support of our students, their families, and the community that you serve. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. It can be felt. It is definitely tangible. And I'm going on the riff right now because I've known Pez now for the last 5 years, and he and his team have been truly, truly a supportive of this community and the students that they serve. And, I just really want to thank him for everything that he's done and that the organizations you work for and now NYS, just thank you. And I know Pez, he's not someone who is short on words, so I know I'm going to turn it over to Pez to share a little bit about the work and the partnership, and I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. Sorry, I just got done football practice, so I'm super tired, but I look a mess. But it's been really cool just working with the school district, not just in this event, but we go into schools probably 5 days a week, whether it's Lincoln or Denfeld or Mars Wilkins or Dean East. We're at every school pretty much every day, and just being able to help the students in a variety of things, whether it's truancy issues, getting kids to school, picking them up if they got appointments, getting them there and then back to school, and then a lot of homework help. And I know Aaron Jolino is really huge with the work he does in the school. Trust me, if it wasn't for him, a lot of these kids probably wouldn't make it through. So huge testament to him. He's been doing this for 30 plus years. And I'm just humbled to have the team that we have. And I enjoy working with the school and the school districts, and always looking for ways to improve. I'm also, I'm not shy with different demands or things that we have, because we want to see these students succeed. So sometimes we might step on toes, but it's only for the betterment of the community. So once again, thank you all for having us and, allowing us to be a partner. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
We'll take a picture and then take a quick picture, and then we'll turn it to board if they would like.
Can I have Beth come up, one of our board members?
Yes, absolutely. Come on up. You want to come on?
Beth. Yeah. Yep, this is Beth Elstead. She's one of our board members for Neighborhood Youth Services. So.
Thank you. You would like to say something?
I just want to say thank you. I'm honored to be on the board and just to be a part of watching this organization flourish and seeing what they're doing in the community, and they just keep pressing on and keep on going, and they're growing, and it's just a really delight for me to be able to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Brett? The board will come up and shake hands as well.
Yes. I would say thank you so much to Neighborhood Youth Services, but also Pez, I've known you for the past few years, and when I think of community partners, you are the first person that comes to mind in your organization. You have been a partner and friend to the district, and we can call each other at 6 in the morning or 9 at night with an issue to talk about and support one another. And I just want to say that there are very few people who go above and beyond like you do, and last night was a great example of that. And yep, your podcast is great, except for the one episode that I was on. Actually, that was a lot of fun too, but I probably don't want the board to listen to it because.
Thank you so much. And again, we just appreciate what you do for kids, so thank you. Now we have just kind of a lesser follow-up, the report from the superintendent, huh? It's not going to be as exciting as our school and community recognition.
Exciting, and especially this month because we don't have our student reps yet. So they'll be rejoining us in our September meeting. There's a little bit on this about our, there's a bit, let me just, I might have to take you off of cast, Rosie, so you'll be off the screen, or Member Loeffler-Kemp, so you'll be off the screen, but you should be able to still hear. If that changes, let me know. Can you still hear us? Yes, so she can hear.
Yes, yes.
Great. And I'm just casting my presentation. So, my superintendent's report for today. Once again, and we start with this every time, our mission, values, and vision. Every student every day will be empowered with learning opportunities for growth, creativity, and curiosity in preparation for their future in a global community. And our vision is that Duluth Public Schools provides an academically engaging, safe, and inclusive environment with high expectations and responsible use of resources. And our values are learning, excellence, equity, collaboration, and belonging. And actually, when I think about our event last night, it exemplifies all of those areas. Our topics tonight, on hold, I would put question mark because sometimes we have a student rep show up and I just wanted to make sure if they came, they felt welcome, but they'll be resuming in September. I have an update on our unity and community, an update on our solar project here at the District Services Center, an update on some cabinet work sessions that we've had, our Duluth leadership team update, our board workshop update, and an update on my superintendent's evaluation. And then if there's any other topics that come up through conversation. Our unity in the community update. Just want to say thank you to the many, many board members, the many community members, so many people that are in this room, so many people who are not in this room that were a big part of everything that happened last night. I think I looked at the radar screen 100 times yesterday and the hourly forecast because we were wishing as hard as we could for the rain to stop, and it did. It stopped just in time, and the skies cleared, and we had a great evening. I do think that the weather did impact our involvement a little bit, though. Just normally we would have probably maybe at least twice as many people, but with the poor weather, it challenged, and I think it was a little hard. But the people that were there were really, really excited to be there. There were 76 booths, 76 community partners who had a booth, or district departments, but most of them were other areas outside of the district, other departments and agencies. And it was just so impressive to see so many people gathered to support our students and think about their education. And when we hear people say it takes a village to raise a child, I think last night was a great embodiment of that sentiment. It was really, really wonderful. We had great performances. We had so many different things that were just so impressive. And again, thanks to Neighborhood Youth Services for all that they provided with all the food that our students cooked, and then with the backpacks and the haircuts and the supplies and so many other things. Just a wonderful event. Our solar project. This was a picture taken 2 stories above us, and there is no 3rd story, so it was on the roof. We took a picture as they were installing our solar panels, and this is a group of our Climate Club students that many of whom you recognize from previous board meetings and advocacy and lobbying that they've done locally and at the state level. These students helped us get the funding for our solar project, and you see behind them that you can barely see the little stands. Those are what the solar panels go on, and we're very excited to have that project up and running. I know Benson Electric is doing the final hookups, and it will be generating power for us soon. It'll be generating sustainable electricity and saving the district money that can be put into resources for our students. So just really, really impressive there. So really, really thankful for those students and what they advocated for. And again, I think that when we think about student leadership, I think that they truly exemplified the best characteristics of leadership: persistence, intelligence, creativity, thoughtfulness, passion, all of those things that we hope to foster when we think about the mission, vision, and values of our district. I think they did a great job of exemplifying that. Our cabinet work sessions, we've had several cabinet work sessions of our top leadership. We met on the 30th here, and a lot of it was working on our vision card, which is really going to be our data dashboard that we'll be sharing with you in one of our upcoming meetings. We did some lunch and had a little bit of team building during lunchtime. We also had our action cards and a review of those action cards that we have for this year, which are kind of our plans within our plan. Then we talked about our progress monitoring, and that's part of the reason why we came and met with you all as a board during our last committee of the whole, and we've got a group that's going to work on things. There's a survey going out, if you remember, so that will be coming up. We're reading a book together called Crucial Conversations. It's basically about how to have respectful professional conversations and challenge each other about the things that matter most. And the premise of that book is that all organizations have challenges from time to time, and the sooner that you can just have frank conversation about what you need to work on, the better off you are. So we've been reading that, and it provides a lot of tips and tricks and skills, so really, really nicely done. And then we put it to use when we were talking about some of our work with our cabinet. We also were reviewing our August dates for the different team meetings we have, as well as our professional learning for the coming year. So that was the work session that we had on the 30th. We have a group called the Duluth Leadership Team, which is really kind of the all administration and supports. It's basically the largest leadership team meeting we have here. That was held on the 12th of August, which was, I believe, Tuesday the 12th, yeah. So we had an agenda review. We had a whole lot of people to introduce, some of them who are here, some of them who are in buildings in different places. We had some great team building. Jen and Brenda and Dale and Todd put together some team building. It was Dice of Destiny, which sounds kind of exciting, and it was exciting. It was more, but it was about who are we as leaders? What does it mean to us? It was really, there's a lot that we're putting into things related to building sense of belonging. So some of the activities we're doing with our leadership teams are meant for replicating with our staff and students. So sort of that cascading of ideas. Anthony shared some information on some updates with the teaching, learning, and equity structures that he has within, with some of the new, the modified positions like the Director of Equity and Greg's position as Director of Technology and some of the changes there. There was a presentation by Jen, Brenda, and Dale on languages of appreciation, knowing and valuing teams. You've heard about the 5 love languages. Well, there are also languages of workplace appreciation, and they're all, it's some things that are similar just as far as different people needing and wanting different things as far as how we show appreciation and how can we do that for our staff and for our students. Then we talked about vision card, progress monitoring, and we have our calendar of meetings. We have Annie Schilling talked about our professional learning theme, which is Blast Off. And BLAST, I'm going to test myself, the acronym is Belonging, Literacy, Attendance, Safety, and Teamwork. So that is the acronym for our professional learning for this year. Good stuff. Then I closed, and we talked about, again, a little more on relationship building. We had some lunch, and then we went into an exciting afternoon of vector training for teacher evaluation training for our leadership and anybody that was supervising our teachers. So that was the afternoon. The next day we had kind of a nuts and bolts session with our principals working on things, but this was the whole leadership team and what we did with them on that day. Board work sessions, as you know, we've had some board work sessions. We met last on July 8th, and we worked with Teamworks on board governance and other topics. And our next meeting is scheduled for September 9th from 5 to 8 p.m. And thanks to the couple of people who noted in my update that I talked about it coming up, and I didn't add the date because I was rushing off the door because the rain stopped, and I was setting up tables for unity in the community, in our community. We also plan to continue that work from the July work session when we meet in a couple weeks here. Superintendent evaluation. As we know, the board has several main roles in its governance model. One is policy, the other is thinking about the budget, and another main thing is to hire, fire, and evaluate the superintendent. So my evaluation is coming up for my final evaluation for this year, I assume. Hopefully not my final evaluation ever. I'm just kidding. But the board and I met in closed session on April 8th for my mid-year evaluation. We follow the MSBA superintendent evaluation process, so it's not something that we made up, but we've taken their guidance and modified it based on our needs. And the school board will meet next in closed session 1 week from yesterday for the 24-25 end-of-year evaluation. And I was just meeting with Chair Eder and former Chair Lowfold to go over some of those pieces of information. I hope to get it to you tomorrow so that you have plenty of time to look at it before Monday. And just a reminder that my goals were under Standard 1, under governance, providing information for decision-making for the board. Standard 2 was on district finances, and it was regarding asset protection, which was thinking about how are we thoughtful about decision-making on scarce resources. So that was mainly around our budgeting process. And then under teaching and learning, focusing on school improvement and the things we've done to formalize school improvement. And just a little mini artifact that's here from the session that Director Sparts led this morning. Our CITs, our continuous improvement teams, met, and that one of their pieces left here is a little artifact talking about continuous improvement teams and professional learning communities and what we do to make sure that those are fueling the work of the district. This room was packed with probably 75 teacher leaders and principals throughout the whole day, really focusing on what were their goals as elementary schools for the year and how were they going to be moving forward. So really a lot of work being done by school improvement. That's elementary. Secondary is doing equally as much work with their CITs, and just really impressed with our new structure with what we're doing for Minnesota multi-tiered systems of support and how we've aligned those with our school improvement. So that concludes my superintendent report, but I'll stand for any questions.
Member Lowfold. So
I just want to, and I'm sure others of us will share that too, just an appreciation for yesterday's event, and just, I think I was texting just as much as Superintendent Magus was looking at the radar. I was like, okay, is it on? Is it off? Do I need, a poncho? Do I need warm clothing? And I think texted the night before and said, it'd be great to call it off now when you see this weather forecast, so we're not all there. But they went with their passion and their guts, and they tempted the weather, but it was good. But I noticed that that there was so much action at the vendor tables. Like, they were really spending time and, taking all of the handouts and asking questions. The school board table was busy, and it was fun. And so we started that, I think, just last year. Other years, we kind of volunteered at different sites in the whole, operation. But we kind of thought last year that it'd be good to have a school board information table. And I think I've talked a little bit about getting a little table tent that goes on a table that says, meet your school board members, or, ask questions of school board, and we could have that. And we could be at other events and really open up the opportunity for our community to engage with us, because, they were taking the handouts, they took all the candy, and, Adele gave us all of that, so I really appreciate that. And then the other one is that the solar presentations, I was able to get out here as well. I was up on the roof too, and I can tell you that I'm glad I'm taking a weight training class to climb those stairs that you have to get up to get on the roof. And so I was pleasantly surprised that I made it up, and it was really cool. It was a great view up there, too, so it was fun. And the kids were there, and they were really excited, and they also were very appreciative of our persistence as well, working with them. So it was great. So thank you for that, sharing that in your superintendent report.
Member Sadowski.
Yeah, I was just going to quick echo what Member Lowfeld. I was going to talk about the solar. I just really appreciate that you invited all of the students. I know that many of them have been advocating for solar for many years, even before I was on the board, but I distinctly remember my first school board meeting, and they were there, and they were advocating, and they had done a lot of research, just like we kind of shared. And so it's been a joy to see it come to fruition for them and our schools, so thank you.
Thank you, and I just want the board to know that that all came together really quickly. It was sort of the end of the day prior that we started scheduling time with media for interviews, and so we decided to invite the students, and then I told the board about it soon after, I believe the next morning, but apologize that it just came together really quickly, and would have liked to have given people more advance notice, but figured it was better to invite people when I knew than not.
Assistant Superintendent Bonds.
Thank you, and I'll be quick. I would be remiss not to thank a couple of individuals who was behind the scenes working really hard on the Uni in Our Community event, and that's Adele Wellens, our PIO, and Shalon Monroe, our Family Engagement Coordinator. They were working behind the scenes and have been working and doing the planning and organizing for several months to make sure we have all of our community partners there. So I want to make sure that I thank them publicly, as well as everyone who then came out and helped and volunteered to make it a successful event. So I just want to make sure I acknowledge those two individuals.
Thank you, Mr. Bonds. You forgot one person, though. I too really want to thank Adele Wellens and Shalon Monroe. They both did so much for this, but we wouldn't have had the unity in the community if it wasn't for you planting the seed of that idea and getting it started. And there was also a lot of work by Patty that first year, and just you had the idea several years ago of putting this on, and quite honestly, I thought it was crazy and didn't think we'd be able to get it together. But you proved that the community has vision for the district, and I appreciate your leadership on that as well.
Member Loeffler Kemp.
Great, thank you. Appreciate all of the things and agree with all of the things other people have said. I just wanted to highlight the Solar in the Schools grant again and do a big appreciation for our state legislators who helped fund that grant and supported that grant. And our Duluth area legislators were very supportive of it when we were lobbying them, and I just wanted to recognize them as partners in the success of us getting the solar panels on our buildings and getting the grant funding to help us do that. So, thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no other commentary for the superintendent, I just want to let the board know that once Superintendent Megas sends us his evidence for the superintendent evaluation, I'll make sure and send an email out to everybody, including the MSBA guidelines around superintendent evaluations, and just take a minute to review that. So when we come together on Monday, we can have a really productive conversation. So thank you. Moving on, Schedule 6C is a schedule of meetings and events. Now we'll move on to reports from the Standing Committee, and we'll start with Assistant Superintendent Bonds for the Committee of the Whole, the monthly Committee of the Whole. That was August 7th.
Thank you, and it was a short meeting in terms of agenda items, but it was a well thought out meeting and a lot of details. So the meeting focused primarily on improving systems The superintendent and myself shared information related to the progress monitoring calendar and provided an overview of the important meetings that happen during the COW meeting that are annual in nature, as well as some of the meetings we have listed that would be coming to the board over the year during the COW meeting. The second presentation was a conversation with the board or related to the format of the COW meeting. And so there was a lot of discussion on the format for our COW meeting in the future, and just a lot of really good dialogue on ways to be more efficient with time, making sure that the board is well informed through the presentations that are provided from the Teacher Learning Equity Department, as well as our operations side of the house as well. And I'll stop there because those were the two items. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Assistant Superintendent Bonds? Superintendent Magus.
Yes, I just have a comment, or there was a question at that meeting about, I believe it was at that meeting, about the school board agenda policy 205, or 203.5 rather, as to whether or not the 203.5 applies to regular school board meetings. And so we reached out to Terry Morrow from MSBA, and basically he said that it was intended just for regular school board meetings. It's not intended, that particular policy is not intended for committee meetings. And it's also based more on the Robert's Rules of Order as opposed to state statute. So thanks to the board member that reminded me of the question. And with Patty out the past couple of weeks here and there, if there's anything that I'm missing, please let me know, and I will try and make sure that I follow up on it.
Seeing no questions, we can move on to the next committee report. That's the Human Resources and Business Services Committee. Chair Sadowski.
Yep, we had our HR Business Services Committee meeting on Monday, August 11th, here in this room here at 4:30. And as I always say, at this meeting, I give kind of the highlights of that meeting, but I would encourage everybody to watch our HR Business Services meetings. We often get 200 pages or more of documents, which we read over the weekend prior to the meeting and prepare, and we go through everything. But that's what that meeting's for. This is kind of a high-level overview here. So I'm just going to give a few quick updates, hopefully, on our human resources report. I would note that we're wrapping up negotiations with the para unit, and negotiations are ongoing with food service principals and our director units. I also wanted to highlight our bus driver training program, which I think is really great. It allows helpers to have a pathway to becoming a bus driver, and we have 2 folks in that program right now. And as we know, sometimes it's been hard to find bus drivers, so we really appreciate all of our bus drivers and the work that's gone into this program. And then I know it was mentioned previously, perhaps in the superintendent report, somewhere along the line, we're moving from frontline to vector for employee evaluations. This is going to help facilitate a more streamlined process and save money, and really connects to our strategic pillar of improving systems. Then I'm going to move on to our facilities report. We have many projects in progress, so I would encourage you to take a look at all of those. One that stuck out and that we had a little conversation on, just because I was very curious about it, was the Denfeld Clock Tower. We have a project where we're putting in heating into the clock tower, and I just wondered why. It's because we need to make sure we have fireproofing in the clock tower, and with the heating it, then there's a sprinkler system. So that was one of note that I remember, because it seems like the clock tower is always coming up at Denfeld. So we definitely want to have fireproofing. Those are the items that I wanted to highlight for the Facilities and Human Resources report. Any questions on those reports? Okay, seeing none, I'll continue with my report then. For transportation report, right now, we're obviously gearing up for school. So we are finalizing routes throughout the city, doing a lot of vehicle maintenance and doing some back-to-school training for staff. And then I just wanted to note that last year, we drove 1,268,594 miles transporting students around our city, our long, skinny, narrow city with lots of little roads. So I thought that was a remarkable number. And I really appreciate all the work our transportation department's doing, getting ready for the start of school. It's one of those things that I think parents are always wondering, okay, what bus is it? Where's my kid getting picked up? And so all of that planning really goes into making parents and students feel less nervous on that first day of school. Some resolutions that I wanted to highlight is we have a resolution for donations to Duluth Public Schools, and we had a lot of donations for Unity in our community, which we've talked a lot about tonight, but we really appreciate the support of everyone in our community. And we also have a resolution for the employment of a school board member by the district. So those will be some of our resolutions that we're bringing forth. We had our financial report. Really, it's a pretty basic report. We're 4 weeks in, so there wasn't a whole lot on there, but we'll obviously keep an eye on that, and there'll be more to talk about in the future months. And for the consent agenda, besides the financial report, under bids, RFPs, and quotes, we had a very robust conversation about bid number 1340, which was for the Duluth News Tribune Education Center build-out. We were lucky to have our own Brian Brown there, as well as a representative from ICS. So we will see that. We saw that on our consent agenda. This will need to be approved by MDE in the coming months, soon.
Actually, coming days.
Coming days.
Hopefully next week we'll hear something.
So, yeah, and so a couple of things we talked about too besides that. So that was a huge packet. You saw it added on, I think, on that Monday of our meeting. And so it was a lot of different bids to review, but I really appreciated Brian and our ICS rep just being here and kind of sharing more about the bidding process for the district. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I took notes here. Those RFPs went out on July 9th. And then on July 31st, they were extended, I think, till about August 6th. So there was a long window for people to submit a bid on those RFPs. There was 13 contracts. And I think we've done some walkthroughs already. And then those projects will start, I think, the beginning of September and go through July. And we also just talked about how the district is now going to be making sure to put RFPs on the district website, and I was really pleased to hear this. I think that it'll allow for, we've already been very transparent in like posting it out in the community, but I think it's just one more spot to add transparency and also make sure that our local contractors can know that it's on the website. And then another thing I would note is that all of these contracts were union. They were union contracts. So just wanted to point that out. Any questions on that? Because I know that was a huge packet. Any more questions or comments on that? John? Superintendent Magus?
No problem. You were mentioning transportation, and I know we had some issues with routing with transportation a couple of years ago as we switched to a new software. And I'm pleased to share that as of this morning, there were only 9 students left to be routed, which is really in advance of where we normally are. We tend to get a lot of people coming in at the end, enrolling at the end, so we want to make sure we have margin and capacity, but really impressed with the work of our transportation team with Jeremy Casapides, and then also with Simone Zunich leading that work.
Yeah, I appreciate all the work that everyone's done on that. So it's certainly a relief to parents and students. Member Loeffler-Kemp, I see you have your hand raised.
I I just really appreciated all of the background information on the bids that are attached to the remodeling of the D&T building. And so just, again, really appreciate all of the background information, being I don't serve on that committee. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions, Member Lofald?
I too will kind of echo Member Loeffler Kemp, listening to it on our website. I just really appreciated the, and I don't know who our ICS building manager's first name is. Yeah, Jason, where you went through and, you know, you didn't do a deep dive because we didn't need it necessarily. There weren't questions, but you just went through all of those, was it 13 categories that you broke down the construction or the needs in every area, and spoke to that, and we could see the bids, we could see the amounts that were put out there and how they were selected. I loved, you know, Member Zadowski highlighted it too, you know, where are we putting our notices out? And Director Brown, you talked about, you know, it's in the newspapers, it's in other publications that you have, and it's very visible. So the board gets a lot of questions, and the more we know the process, and I know that Member Zadowski and the Finance Committee also know it really well, and so I appreciate that. And then with the transportation thing, I just think that I appreciate that our district is always looking to use whatever current, more updated technology is, whether it is your future forecasting for our budget, whether it is a advanced system for aligning transportation with students. You know, when we have the right tools in our toolbox to get those tough things to get done, then, you know, our community is happier, families are happier. They don't know all the ins and outs of how it became smoother or why we understand what our financial needs are going to be in 5 years. It's because this leadership has seen to it that our departments have what they need as much as we can in the budget that we have to make those systems, improving systems, work for us. So thank you.
Okay, seeing no other questions or comments at this time, I just have a few other things I'd like to highlight. I would just encourage, if folks haven't, there was quite a few expenditure contracts there, which we reviewed. And as far as our grant applications, there's one that was submitted for outdoor education at Ordine and Lincoln Park Middle School, which I was happy to see. And then another one for Masabakong, Ojibwe Immersion at Lowell for curriculum, contracting with elders, and then also program materials. So fingers crossed for those grant applications. They both sound like very worthwhile grants. And then I just wanted to note, because we had a couple change orders, and I just wanted to make sure, I'm sure everyone knows this, but that's very normal in construction projects. There will often be unseen things, and then a change order is done, and so those are there for your review as well, but they all look pretty normal. So, any questions or last minute comments? Great, thank you.
Thank you for that report. Moving on to the Policy Committee. The committee chair is Member Loeffler Kemp, and I turn it over to you.
Okay, great, thank you. I hope you all can hear me. I'm gonna kind of keep this fairly brief, but, and again, all of the information we will be voting on in the consent agenda. We met on Thursday, August 14th. We had one policy for second reading, and there were no changes recommended after the first reading. It's policy 512, school-sponsored student publications and activities. The purpose of this policy is to protect student rights to free speech and production of school-sponsored media and activities, while at the same time balancing the school district's role in supervising student publications and the operation of public schools. This is required by state statute that we have this policy. We all recognize student voice is important. We had some good conversation around that. This policy once we adopt the student journalist policy, it will be posted on the district website and in the student handbooks. So again, this is the second reading of that policy. We also had a little bit longer meeting this month because we reviewed a number of policies that fell under the 1,000 series, and we're going to be going through each of those different series. And these are policies that we have cross-referenced and adopted in new policies already, so we are able to delete the 1,000 series. And rather than going through each one, I just want to share that we looked at 21 different old policies. Each one, again, has been cross-referenced and are either in a current policy that we have adopted, or they might be in our facilities handbook or our student handbook. And so of the 21, we went through each one. We reviewed which policies they currently fell under and had some discussion around that. There were 3 policies that in those 1,000 series that you all have available that we are holding off on, and they will be policy 1065, which was called the Parent-Teacher Association policy. We're going to be bringing back another more broader policy about parent and community organizations. So that will not be included in deletion 1065. Also, 1100, the name of that policy was public performances by students. We're just going to look a little bit more at the current regulations we have around this and get a little bit more principal input on our current practices on that one. So that one won't be one we will be voting to delete. And the last one is 1125, which is a policy called soliciting of staff and students regarding advertising or promotional ventures during the school time. And that we just want to, we'll be including in a different policy. So a lot of good conversation happened, a lot of great updates. Really want to thank particularly Patty Paquette again, who works through these policies with us. And then also at the end of our policy meeting, we reviewed, like we have done every July or August, the policies that we have worked on for the past year during our calendar year, which is July 1st, 2024 to June 30th of 2025. And during this time, this past year, thank you as a board, we reviewed and adopted or updated 41 policies this year. I want to thank my colleagues who served in 2024, Stephanie Williams, for your work, and then also currently and also in the past, Sarah Michael and Jill Lofold for the work on the policy committee. So that was our August 14th committee report. Our next meeting is going to be Thursday, September 11th at 4:30. We've changed our meeting time to 4:30. Now I'll just say, Sarah or Jill, if you have any additional things to what I reported on.
Real quickly, going through the 1,000 series is a big task. And Patty does a lot of the heavy lifting there, but it's going to make our process of policy review so much more streamlined because some of those policies were first written in the 1970s and have last reviewed in the 1990s. So I'm going through and making sure that we don't have obsolete policies and we have policies that really match what our state statutes are and what our current practices are. I find very invigorating, but it's going to do a lot of good work for our district.
I guess I'll just add that during the process, I'm learning how to be just invigorated by our policy work. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, confused. But that MSBA also did a review, was it in like 2017 or something? They went through and did some review of policies we could really, delete or so we had kind of a basis too, and Rosie already had that information, Patty added to it, and so it seemed not as overwhelming to me to figure out why we were deleting and stuff, so thank you. But MSBA also really is a guiding direction for us there too.
Thank you for the additional comments, colleagues.
Thank you. Seeing no further questions for Chair of the Policy Committee, Member Loeffler Kemp, we'll move on to number 8 on the agenda, which is some general board committee updates. Do we have any general board committee updates that we'd like to share? Oh, cripes. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We are looking for a motion to pass the consent agenda.
So moved.
Member Sadowski has moved. Member Loeffler Kemp has seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we will do a roll call vote.
Member Banks.
Yes.
Chair Durkeeter.
Yep.
Member Loeffler Kemp.
Yes?
Member Lofald.
Yes.
Member Meixel is me, and I vote yes. Member Sadowski.
Yes.
Member Williams.
Yes.
And 7-0, the consent agenda is approved.
Bam. Okay. Moving on next, we have resolutions from our committee reports. Member Williams.
I get the best one. So I am doing Resolution B-8-25-4114, the resolution of acceptance of donations to Duluth Public Schools. Whereas Minnesota Statute 465.03 requires school district to accept donations by resolution expressed in the terms prescribed by the donor in full, and whereas acceptance of the donations in accordance with the donor's terms is in the best interest of Duluth Public Schools, now therefore be it resolved that the Duluth Public Schools does accept the below described donations from said organizations in accordance with the terms set forth herein. Be it further resolved that the Duluth Public Schools wishes to extend its grateful appreciation to these various individuals and organizations, and I would like to highlight just a few of them. These are all specifically for the event that's been mentioned several times this evening, Unity in the Community, which happened last night. Thank you to Chipotle. They did a Dine to Donate event, Amsoil, Minnesota Power, Super One, and then individuals as well, Jonah Lewis, Carla Mallard, Kimberly Bolts, and hopefully I'm not forgetting any of our individuals. But in-kind donations, cash donations, food donations. So thank you to everyone for making our event a success.
Member Williams has moved Resolution B-8-25-4114. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Banks has seconded. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll do a roll call vote.
Member Banks.
Yes.
Member Durkeeter.
Yep.
Member Loeffler Kemp.
Yes.
Member Lofald.
Yes.
I am Member Meixel. I vote yes. Member Sadowski.
Yes.
Member Williams.
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carries. Moving on next, we have Member Sadowski.
I move Resolution HR-8-25-4115. It's a resolution for the employment of a school board member by the district. This resolution is for Member Lofald for the time frame of July of 2025 to June of 2026.
Member Sadowski has moved Resolution HR 825-4115. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Williams is seconded. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we will have a roll call vote.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Member Dirk Eater?
Yep.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lowfald?
Abstain?
I am Member Mikesell, and I vote yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes.
The vote is 6-0 with one abstention.
Motion carries. Next, we have Member Mikesell. Mikesell?
Sure do. I move Resolution HR 8-25-4117, the Executive Employees Association, resolved by the School Board of ISD 709 in St. Louis County that the collective bargaining agreement between ISD 709 and the Executive Employees Association, a summary of which is in the hands of all school board members, be approved and adopted for the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028, inclusive, and that the chairperson and clerk of the school board are hereby authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the school district.
The motion has been moved by Member Mikesell. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Sadowski is seconded. Do we have any discussion?
I have a
would-
quick question,
Oh,
please.
yes, Member Banks.
Thank you. Can you or someone tell me how many individuals are in this association?
Executive Director Severance?
I can look that up for you, but it's roughly 30, but I'll get an exact number in just a minute for you.
Is that okay, Member Banks? Great. And I do just want to point out that usually these are 2-year contracts, and we have secured this contract for 3. So thank you to our team. We will now move on to a roll call vote.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Chair Dirk Eater?
Yes.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lowfald?
Yes?
I am Member Mikesell. I vote yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carries. Next, Member Lowfald.
I move Resolution B-8-25-4116, a resolution canvassing returns of votes of school district primary election. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 709, State of Minnesota, as follows. Number 1, it is hereby found, determined, and declared that the primary election of the voters of the district held on August 12th, 2025, was in all respects duly and legally called and held. Number 2, as specified in the attached abstract and return of votes cast, a total of 9,190 voters of the district voted at said primary election to choose nominees for election as school board members for 4-year terms as follows. Harry Welty, 1,477. Lauren Martell, 1,027. Kelly Durek Eater, 2,680. Amber Zadowski, 3,036, and Jane Diane Hoffman, 970. Number 3, twice the number of individuals to be elected are to be chosen as nominees. Candidates Harry Welty, Lauren Martell, Kelly Durek Eater, and Amber Zadowski, having received the highest number of votes, are nominees for school board office, and their names shall be placed on the school district general election ballot. Number 4, the school district clerk is hereby authorized to certify the results of the election to the county auditor of each county in which the school district is located in whole or in part. I move the resolution B-8-25-4116.
Member Lowfald has moved the resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Mikesell has seconded the motion. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll have a roll call vote.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Chair Dirk Eater?
Yes.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lowfald?
Yes?
I am Member Mikesell. I vote yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carried. Member Banks?
All right, thank you very much. I move resolution number 8-25-4118, August 19, 2025, regarding paraprofessionals Resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 709, St. Louis County, Minnesota, that the collective bargaining agreement between Independent School District 709 and paraprofessionals, a summary of which is in the hands of all school board members, be approved and adopted for the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2028, inclusive, and that the chairperson and clerk of the school board be hereby authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the school district.
Thank you. Member Banks has moved this resolution forward. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Loeffler Kemp has seconded. Do we have any discussion? Again, I'd just like to point out that these contracts are usually for 2 years, and we were able to secure a 3-year contract. So I want to thank both our team and then the leadership of the paraprofessional union. We will. Did I miss somebody? Oh, sorry, Superintendent Magus.
No, I was just going to mention the 3-year contract piece as well, and we're grateful for all of our units. All of them are very important. Our principals are coming up next. Having been a principal and a para, I think they're both very, very important positions. Very grateful for the work that's done. I know that sometimes our paras are working very hands-on with, in a supportive way with some of our students that have the greatest need, and they come to the positions with patience and hard work.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
I did not mean for that to go up, but I will say I just appreciated all of the summaries of the changes that we got ahead of time as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other discussion, we will now have a roll call vote.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Chair Durkee.
Yep.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lowell?
Yes.
I'm Sarah Mikesell. Oh, anyway, I'm Member Mikesell. I also vote yes. Thank you, Paris. Member Sadowski.
Yes.
Member Williams.
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carries. Next, we have Resolution HR 8-25-4119. This is a resolution for the Duluth Principals Association, resolved by the School Board of ISD 709 of St. Louis County, that the collective bargaining agreement between ISD 709 and the Duluth Principals Association, a summary of which is in the hands of all school board members, be approved and adopted for the period of August 1st, 2025 to July 31st, 2027, inclusive, and that the chairperson, the clerk of the school board, be hereby authorized to execute said agreement on behalf of the district. I have moved HR 8-25-4119. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Williams, second. Do we have any discussion?
Again, I have just a question as to how many principals are in that unit? Is it 30 or 25?
There are 24 members of that unit, and there are 18 in the EEA unit.
Thank you.
Great. Do we have any other discussion? Seeing no other discussion, we'll move on to a roll call vote.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Chair Durkee?
Yes.
Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes.
Member Lowell?
Yes.
I am Member Mikesell. I vote yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carries. Great job, everybody. Do we have any other questions? Anything anybody would like to bring up at this time? Seeing no questions or anything anybody would like to bring up at this time, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Oh, so moved.
Member Mikesell has moved for adjournment. Do we have a second?
Second.
Member Williams is seconded. We can do a roll, oh, do we have any discussion? We can do a roll call vote at 7:35.
Member Banks?
Yes.
Member Durkee? Member Loeffler Kemp?
Yes, and thank you.
Member Lowell?
Yes.
I'm Member Mikesell. I vote yes. Member Sadowski?
Yes.
Member Williams?
Yes.
The vote is 7-0.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.
Bye, Rosie. Bye, Rosie.